Hey everyone, I just read Halo Contact Harvest by Joseph Staten, and it was actually pretty good. This book honestly gets points just for not having any Spartans, but I bet if they'd existed at this point in the timeline, there would have been. It's a book about the first contact and opening shots of the war between humanity and their alien enemies, the Covenant, on the agricultural-focused colony of Harvest, where game character Sergeant Avery Johnson just happens to be stationed. The pros? The book does a pretty good job of building tension once the narrative reaches Harvest, creating an interesting world with some interesting side characters so that when the war kicks off in the second half, there's a lot for the book to work with. Speaking of which, the war for Harvest was great. Even though its outcome is predetermined by canon, both sides took victories and defeats, and the battles here were some of the series' best. And the politics of the Covenant get a lot of focus here, from how the prophets of truth, regret and mercy rose to power on High Charity, to the intertribal conflict of Tartarus and Maccabeus on Harvest, to the friendships and conflicts between the different species of the Covenant. It all gave a lot of depth and complexity to them as a faction overall, and was some of the best parts of the book in my opinion. Who is calling me? The cons. This book really doesn't start until it reaches Harvest. The first few chapters before Johnson is reassigned are so boring. This book got hit hard with main character syndrome. Only characters from the games are allowed to do anything important, to the point where Johnson basically fires the first shot of the entire Human Covenant war. And I loved how it went out of its way to make sure the elites had nothing to do with the start of the conflict, because they're the good aliens. And speaking of Avery Johnson, the direction they took his character, having him start out as a tired soldier with PTSD before turning him into the cigar-chomping, covenant-killing Marine we all know and love from the games, was so bizarre. Especially given there's no real sense of him transitioning between those 2 points of character development until the epilogue, which was its own can of very saucy worms that has to be read to be believed. This is another surprisingly good Halo tie-in novel. It has a couple of stumbles here and there, but overall I really enjoyed it. The author could have phoned it in, but he clearly put a lot of effort into the novel and it shows in the text. I'd recommend it to fans of the Halo games since I think it does add something to the story overall, though for more general readers of science fiction I don't think you'll miss anything if you give it a pass. And I'm giving Halo Contact Harvest a B. What should I read next? Comment down below. If you liked the review and want to see more, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.